It's the first time this ground's been worked up in probably 6 years. It's just been grown up now for 2 years, and I made a deal with the landowner this year to allow me to lease this 5-acre lot, food plot. We're going to turn it into a food plot, and it'll be my biggest food plot yet, and I'm going to attempt to put in 2.5 acres of this field, all with the Groundhog Max. And this is my first attempt at a food plot this big with the Groundhog Max, and it is doing everything it should do really, really well. I'm super impressed with the performance of this thing. I've used this now for 3 years. This makes my 4th year, but I've never attempted anything of this size. But it's not going to be a problem. I mean, it's just doing amazing. I met the owner and the creator of the Groundhog Max this year at the National Wildlife Turkey Federation convention in Nashville, and we talked about this thing, and we talked about a way of preventing the dirt from clumping up and getting packed inside the blades. And I didn't do that yet this year, but I do plan on incorporating this design that he came up with to prevent it from doing that. But as of right now, I don't need to. It's doing great. If the ground's super wet, super moist, it will clump up into there, but you just stop and dig it out. But he has come up with a way to prevent that from happening. It's super easy to do. I just didn't feel that I was going to need to do it for this, because this is actually pretty dry, but it's doing great. The Groundhog Max is a great investment. Now, if I were to till this up and do what I plan on doing with this, I would need, most people would be using a big tractor with a bunch of heavy, expensive equipment. And as of right now, I'm using a 2007 Honda Rancher 400 with the Groundhog Max. And it's just eating that ground up, boy. This is what it looked like before. That stuff's about 3.5, 4 foot tall. And I mowed it down, and then my son got on the 4-wheeler with the Groundhog Max and got to work. We've been at this section right here now for about, probably 25 minutes. And this is what it's doing. It's great. I'm going to leave this end of the field in this tall weeds and let this just grow up, and I'm going to plant clover down through the middle right there and just leave this all right here as bedding and cover. The far end of the field down there is going to have switchgrass grown in front of the deer blind and all the way across that entryway down there to maybe conceal our entry and let them feel a little more secure while they're out in this field, so that we're not bumping deer coming in and out. The Groundhog Max is an amazing piece of equipment. If you don't own one and you don't have the money to go out and spend $15,000 on a nice big tractor with a big tiller and all the heavy equipment that you would need to do something like this, I highly recommend going to your local store that carries the Groundhog Max and picking one of these things up. You will not be disappointed. and we have it set up on the highest setting, so we're not even digging down as deep as it can go. I mean, it can go so much deeper. This thing is really capable of really tearing the ground up if you want it to. And right now I have it set at the highest setting possible. It's coming along nice. This is a little over 2 acres that we are tearing up with the Groundhog Max. This little thing is super impressive. So I just want to show you guys this thing real quick. For those of you that have never seen it and don't know what it is, it's very simple in design, but the way that this thing operates is just absolutely amazing. So attaches to the back of your four-wheeler. It comes with the attachments that you need, and fits into like a reese hitch setting, and you can adjust the depth on it right here. And this thing is super effective. So in about an hour and a half, we've been at it. We've almost tilled up just a little over 2 acres on this field right here with this piece of equipment. And for the price, you just can't beat it. This thing is super effective at what it does. So it took this field from this to that. Very effective. This is our honey hole. This side's done. Working on this side. Super impressive little piece of equipment, the Groundhog Max. I couldn't be happier. Like I say, this is my 4th year using this thing, but this is the biggest food plot I've ever attempted to put in with it. And we're now about an hour and a half into this thing, hour and 45 minutes, and the amount of land that this thing has tilled up is just unbelievable, and how well it's doing at it. It's getting down right there.